Da 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 da. Jurassic Park. I read it. Let's talk about it. So Jurassic Park is a, should have checked this before, 1990 horror novel about dinosaurs going on a killing spree on an island. If you don't know, there was a little indie, underground, not popular at all movie series based off the book. You know, not as scary. I don't think anything could be as scary as reading about the velociraptors looking into your soul. But, you know, we'll get to that. I actually didn't know these were books until, I want to say last year. My dad was going through a bunch of books from his, like, childhood to teenagehood, and he was going to get rid of a bunch, and this was one of them. And it was like, hold up. I will read that. So I finally did. I finally got around to it. I've been wanting to read it for a while. I just suck at reading things when I want to. This book, what can I say about it? It was fucking terrifying. Okay? You know, I know dinosaurs are extinct. There are some people out there who don't even think they're real. Those are lucky people, because this was terrifying. I have an irrational fear that I'm going to be killed by a dinosaur. This did not help. Especially because the fear is very irrational and very new. I think this just fueled it. So this book follows a bunch of characters, most of which I forgot the names of and would get confused with who they were, because there were more than my little brain could handle with all the dinosaur stress. But the main characters, there's a man named Alan Grant. He is, what if that's not his name? Yeah, it is, okay. He is a paleontologist. There's Ellie Settler. I don't remember her last name. She is a herbologist. She studies prehistoric plants. There's two kids, Tim and Lex, who we'll get into. And then there's John Hammond, who is the creator of the titular Jurassic Park. Trying to say big words. Can't get them right. And those are the people I, like, remember. There's, like, a lawyer. There's some other people. I don't know. Oh, this guy Nedry. I don't remember how to pronounce it, because I just rewatched the movie as well. But let's talk about the book and the movie. That little indie underground thing no one's heard of, and definitely doesn't have a bunch of spin-offs. So this book starts out with a bunch of mysterious lizard attacks on a village. Oh my god, this is gonna be the stupidest thing I've ever said. Is it Costa Rica? I think it's off the coast of Costa Rica. Yes, okay. I'm not just making everything up. So I found that intriguing, because the movies don't start like that. The movies start with a dinosaur attack. And you know there's dinosaurs. This one's kind of building it up. And I think the second movie opens with a scene that's in here where a little girl gets attacked by dinosaurs. The beginning did go on for a long time. All these little dinosaurs attacking, and people not knowing what they are and trying to figure it out, and all of the information on, like, where the world is in science. And a lot of that was just kind of gibberish to me, because I'm not a science girl. I review books on the internet. Like, I write books. And, you know, I'm not science. Like, I could never write this. I wouldn't, because it was terrifying. But so, you know, you kind of get this introduction, and I think even though it kind of dragged on longer than I would have expected it to, it was well worth it because it really got me into the book. Like, I was already very intrigued, but just the setup kind of piqued that and made me want to read more and to see kind of how they were going to tie that in, because we weren't on the dinosaur island. Nobody knows about the dinosaur island yet, except for the people on it. We weren't on it. We were somewhere in Costa Rica, but not the specific area. So I really liked that. There were a lot of characters introduced. They all kind of have their introductions with like long explanations of who they are and what type of science-y thing they like, or like how they're involved in the island. And I don't know, it didn't help me. Maybe it helps other people, but I got confused. I think there were 2 characters whose last name started with an M, and I just don't know who's who. This book had a lot more, obviously, substance than the movies. When I watched the movie, it was after I read it, and I was kind of shocked with how short it was. Like, oh, that's all they do? You know? But yeah, because like in this one, when Grant and the kids get separated from... Oh my god, I forgot about Ian Malcolm. There's Ian Malcolm, too. He's not one of the M names I forgot or got confused with. Because when he talked, he only talked about chaos theory, and it was like talking to my brother about his science homework that's just math with no numbers. So Grant and the kids like get separated, and in the movie it's kind of a short like, oh, we're gonna just go in this tree and we're gonna go on a walk. But in the movie it was like in the book it was like we're gonna go in a tree and we're gonna go on a walk, but then we're gonna go on a boat, and there was just a lot more that they had to deal with, and I liked that. Stressed me out, but I liked it. So the plot of the book follows all these characters going to Jurassic Park because they're trying to see if it's if it's good to open, basically. I think I was a little confused because there's just a lot of people there. There was like a lawyer, some investors, the grandkids. The grandkids are invited. They're Hammond's grandkids. They're invited because their parents are getting divorced, and he's like, what kid going through a divorced family wouldn't want to see dinosaurs? Well, fair enough, I guess. I don't know. And in the movie, Lex is older than Tim, but in the book it's switched. And I wish it hadn't been, because Lex, I wanted to just flick her into a herd of dinosaurs. I'm sorry. There are no motherly instincts in my body, especially when it comes to children like her. The whole time, they're like being attacked by a dinosaur, and she's like, I hope I get a snack soon. I'm hungry. Can we have a snack? Can you read the room? Like, everyone's traumatized, right? Lex, she's gonna be fine after she has, like, a Cheez-It. So everyone comes to the island. We have, in the movie, when we kind of learn about how dinosaurs were brought back, it's through a little video. In this, it's just a bunch of paragraphs of people talking. And there's a lot more conversation around, is this ethical to bring back these beasts? And how, like, oh, everything's gonna go wrong because chaos theory says that it has to. And if there was one scene with Malcolm not talking about chaos theory, it was when he's dead. But apparently he's not even dead, because he comes back in the second to be the main character, apparently. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, I have not done a book review in so long. Oh my god. Let's see. Plot. So they come to the island, right? They learn about the dinosaurs. They don't learn that dinosaurs have been mixed with frogs right away like they do in the movie. And I liked that, because that's kind of a plot twist later on. So then they go on the tour, and the tour, it's going well. They're not seeing... Well, they do see dinosaurs. In the movie, they don't. In the book, they kind of, like, see some up in the trees, which also, like, these fucking things can climb trees. Ugh, gross! Oh, they see the velociraptors before the tour. They see the velociraptors. In the movie, they don't see shit. They see them. They see the afterwards of their feast. In the book, they see them. And it's described as, like, the velociraptor just having a cold stare. No thank you. No thank you. Oh my god, I hate it. They knew the velociraptors were coming. I was not prepared because they're fucking terrifying. So one is staring at them. I think it's like Grant and the kids and maybe Malcolm. I don't remember if he's there or if it's another side character I've forgotten the name of. But, you know, the velociraptor's staring at them. It's talking about how, like, cold the eyes are and how, like, you know that thing will not hesitate to kill you. And then all of a sudden from the side, one attacks the fence and then one attacks the other fence because they were hunting. Even though these fuckers know that the fence is going to shock them. They don't care. They just want to kill. So, you know, everyone's like, oh, okay, velociraptors. And then they go on the tour. And in the back of my head, I'm just thinking, like, why create velociraptors at all? You know, you should have seen how dangerous they were and then pew pew. But that's the thing. Hammond does not want any dinosaur, like, killed or put down. There's, whichever one spits the poison, it can spit up to 50 feet. Which, like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it here. And, you know, they want to, like, the scientists wanted to remove the glands, the poison glands, but they couldn't find them. So the only way to do that would be to kill all those ones and then remake them with, like, scientific editing to get rid of the poison glands. And Hammond's like, no, you're not killing my children, those dinosaurs. No, we'll just take the lawsuit. Bro. Okay. Not smart, but okay. So, you know, I think they see those guys, and then they're trugging along, and then... Do they see the T-Rex in the thing, in the book? At first? I don't remember. I think they do. Like, they see... the... I don't know. Oh, I found the raptor line. Wow, we're really just... back to me how I do after reviews and not planning ahead. Okay, I lost the raptor line. But, you know, they're going on the tour and then they come to a spot where there's a not a triceratops. I think it's a... Oh god, this used to be my favorite dinosaur. The one with, like, the club tail. Let's Google it. What dinosaur has a club tail? Ankylosaurus. Okay, the Ankylosaurus. Maybe it wasn't, but I thought it was. So a steg/Ankylosaurus, and it's sick. And there's a doctor there, and he's like, I don't know, why are the dinosaurs sick? And Ellie is like, oh, well, look at all these poisonous berries around us. And then the doctor is like, no, dinosaurs don't eat berries. They know they're poisonous. You sure about that? And then she deduces that the dinosaurs have been eating stones around where the berries drop to help them digest things. And that's what's making them sick. So she wants to stay back to help out with the dinosaur. And everyone else goes back on the cars to go finish the tour and then head back to the lodge. And on the way back to the lodge, Tim is in his little car with his little goggles, night vision goggles, looking at the supply ship that's leaving. It's not supposed to come back for another 2 weeks. And what does he see on board? Fucking velociraptors. He sees... fucking... It's like 2 velociraptors just hopping around on this ship. Which, that was not in the movie. And I could have done without it, because I was stressed the whole time about these velociraptors. Because they can't get in contact with the ship. The phone lines are down because Nedry, or whatever his fucking name is doing something, and he has to take up all the phone lines, so they can't call the ship and be like, hey, there's fucking velociraptors, come back. And they have like 15 hours until the ship reaches the mainland. So it's like a race against time. But then, oh no, what happens? The power cuts. And there's a storm. And it's night. And there's fucking velociraptors. And then they're talking with the people in the control room. And a way they track the dinosaurs is they type in, like, I think they do 240. So the park, it checks and counts. Yeah, there's 238 dinosaurs, because that's how many they have. And then Malcolm, I think it is all like, okay, I want you to look for 300 dinosaurs. And they're like, we're not going to find 300 dinosaurs, because there's only 238, but we'll entertain you. So they type it in. And it shows... No, wait, so before that, he's like, look up your dinosaurs. Tell me how many you have. And, you know, it has the right amount. And Hammond is like, I hope you're satisfied. And then Malcolm is like, now do more. And they're like, nothing's gonna come up. And then something comes up. So he's like, okay, now do more. And then they do more. And then this is what it looks like. So they're supposed to have 2 Tyrannosaurus Rexes. They have 2. They're supposed to have 21 Masiosauruses, whatever the fuck those are. They have 22. They're supposed to have 4 Stegos. They have 4. They're supposed to have 8 Triceratopses. They're good. This is a word I cannot pronounce. Wow. I'm not even going to butcher that. They're supposed to have 49, there's 65. You're getting my point, okay? They're supposed to have 8 velociraptors. They're supposed to have 8. There's 37! When I read that, I put the book down and I texted my boyfriend about my discomfort. Because I don't know. I know it's fiction. I know it's a book. I know there's not a fucking velociraptor outside my window in Canada. Or under my bed, which is literally a mattress on the floor. There's no under my bed right now. Yeah, no, I did not want to get off my bed. I had to go brush my teeth. It was like, how am I going to go into the little hallway? Like, the bathroom is literally a foot from my bedroom. How was I going to go in the dark hallway? It's dark in there. There's 37 velociraptors. Some have already escaped. No, I'm not fucking, ugh. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. And this is right before the Tyrannosaurus Rex attacks. And also, because it's the book, it's so much darker than the movie. Because in the movie, you don't get to hear them describe what the dinosaurs smell like. So it's like they can smell them before they appear. Because it's like death and decay and flesh and... What? You're lucky you're cute. Ugh. So, instead of 238 dinosaurs, there's 292. Because they find out the dinosaur DNA was mixed with frog DNA, and some frogs, if there's only female, which is what they did with the dinosaurs, they only bred females, they will transition to male so they can mate. So these dinosaurs are transitioning to mate and to ruin my day. And now there's 37 velociraptors. And then through the book, this is the complaint I have. Throughout the book, they're like, oh yeah, there's 37 velociraptors. Well, it's fine. We just have to deal with these 8. What do you mean those 8? The original 8 that you have, those 8 that reproduced, and now there's 37 of them? They're still there somewhere. You don't know where they are. Those ones are scarier. So then Nedry turns off, like, he's turned off the power because he has to smuggle out some dinosaur embryos, which, like, I think this should be a lesson on why we should not be pro-life. embryos caused this whole drama. So he's sneaking these embryos out to a different boat, and he gets lost on the way. And he sees a cute little dinosaur, and he's like, oh, hello, little guy. I have to go. I'm trying to find my way, and I'm lost, and it's raining. And then it fucking shoots poison at him. And there's a line where it's like, the dinosaur is 40 feet away. And we know this dinosaur can spit at 50 feet, and I hate it. It's so gross. Oh. So I was stressed. I had to put the book down again. Oh my god. Like, my boyfriend got all these texts. He did not see the bodily reactions, but oh, I hate it. It's so gross. It's so... and then it, like, spits on him, and he's like, oh, you spit on me, and then it spits again, I think on his neck, and he's like, oh, it kind of hurts, and then it spits him in the eyes, like it does in the movie. But in the movie, he wipes it away and gets in the car, and then sees the dinosaur in the car with him. No, in the book, it spits him in the eyes, and he's, like, wiping it away, wondering why he can't see. The dinosaur blinded him. And then it comes and slices his belly, and he feels something warm and... Oh my god, I hate it. You know when you get really scared and you get really hot? It's kind of hot in here. And he's holding his intestines in his hands. And then the dinosaur, like, the last line of the chapter is, like, the dinosaur what are the jaws closing in around his head. And he's still alive. So that was really fun. Dang it, I was gonna make a joke. I have this book called The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, and I was gonna hold it up and go, I'm gonna read this after to remind myself that dinosaurs are dead, but it's in the stack of books keeping my camera up. So, pretend I made that joke. Anyways, so then the T-Rex attacks. There's this line where the T-Rex, let me see. Like, here, this is the line. I found the line. Okay. In the goggles, the eyes glowed bright green, because Tim's looking at it with the goggles. Tim felt a chill, but then, as he looked down at the animal's body, moving down from the massive head and jaws, he saw the smaller, muscular forelimb. It waved in the air, and then it gripped the fence. Are you fucking kidding me? That's so gross! Oh my god, I wanted to throw up. What are you... Like, I knew it was happening because I've seen the movie. It traumatized me as a kid. I've seen the movie. You're telling me this fucker is putting its hand on the fence? I know they're not electrified right now, but you're telling me that this fucker just tests it? The dinosaur knows that the fence isn't electric anymore? You're telling me that it just touches it? I'm supposed to be okay with that? Well, I know I'm not, but I'm supposed to just read that and move on with my life? That was so gross. And then everyone is like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then Lex is like, bad language. And I just want to, like, there's a fucking, like, girl, also, before they notice the T-Rex is standing there getting ready to touch the fence, something runs between the cars. And they're not sure what it is. Oh my god. My phone buzzed and it scared me. If someone opened my door right now, I would scream. Something, like, runs in between the cars, and they're like, oh, it might have, like, they don't know what it is. I thought it was a velociraptor. It was probably the baby T-Rex, because there's a baby one. Well, a juvenile. But, like, I have to close the blinds of my window. And I need you guys to know that that's going to be a struggle for me, because I have to look into the dark of the night. And then there's this dude, Riggs, who's with the kids. I only remember his name because it's right here. And he runs away and then gets, like, killed by some dinosaurs. Or I think he survives. He hides between some rocks, and when he thinks the dinosaurs are gone, he comes back, and then the juvenile T-Rex is, like, a snack. And just eats him. But, so the T-Rex starts attacking the, car with the kids in it. Malcolm and Ian are in their own car. And the T-Rex, I don't know how Lex gets out, but Lex gets out, and the T-Rex throws the car with Tim into a tree. And he gets knocked out. And then it attacks the other car, flinging Malcolm somewhere, throwing the car, or flipping it over with Grant still inside. I would have a heart attack. I would not survive that, because my heart would give out. Anyways. It was looking in the car. Anyway, so then that happens, and then Ellie is just in her little world. They're, like, trying to drive back. They've dealt with the dinosaur. And then you're thinking, oh god, they're gonna come up on the T-Rex. But then no, there's a fallen tree in the way, so they have to go around. So they have to go the long way. And then I think they go straight back to the lodge. And then Hammond is like, my grandkids aren't back. Like, the power went out and you're in one of the only 2 gas-powered Jeeps we have on this whole island. Go find my grandkids. And Ellie is like, oh, okay. And then her and some dudes set out to do that. Also, there's like very minimal weapons on the island because Hammond does not want the dinosaurs killed. So they have like a rocket launcher. But Nedry, in his quest to go get those embryos, took the car that had the rocket launcher in it. So they don't have a rocket launcher. They just have like cattle prods. Once again, embryos and fetuses are just the reason all this shit happens. I've never read a stronger pro-choice message in my life. So that's Nedry's death. But then they get to so Ellie and what's-his-face, Mr. Man, get to where the cars are, and it's like, oh god, there's a leg. It's just some dude's leg. It's Riggs' leg. Because the dinosaurs killed him. And Grant and the kids have all kind of regrouped by this point and started to, like, try and get their way back to the lodge. I should say, Lex shows a little bit of trauma before they start walking. She's, like, in a drain pipe, like this, banging her head against it because she just got attacked by a dinosaur. But, like, the second she's with people again, she's like, I want a snack. I want a snack. And that's her whole personality. She just wants a snack. So Elle is fine. Like, her trauma's gone. She's just hungry. She's also, like, 7 or 8. But so they find the leg, and then the dude Ellie is with is like, oh, help me wrap this in a tarp. Bro! With the dinosaurs loose? No. So then they find Malcolm, who his leg is like broken, like there's bone sticking out. He is not doing too well. He's starting to smell like flesh and decay. So they bring him back, and the whole time he's like in pain, talking about chaos theory and how, oh, I was right, I calculated this was gonna happen with mathematics. Shut up. And then Grant and the kids climb a tree for the night and they sleep there. And then when they wake up, there's dinosaurs, like this little guy, just munching on trees, and Lex is like, I want a snack, and everyone is traumatized but her, and I'm still thinking, oh my god, there's fucking velociraptors on the loose, and no one's acknowledging it. So they start going on the journey back to the lodge, which kind of has a few pit stops. Do they sleep in a tree? Or are they sleeping? At one point they sleep in a little, like, hay shed. And Lex befriends a Triceratops baby. And names him Ralph, I think. Or Clarence. She names a couple things in the book. And then the T-Rex comes and attacks some animals nearby. And the T-Rex is just kind of their stalker. Like, everywhere they end up, the T-Rex is too. There's one point where they go through a, like, encaged, pterodactyl territory. That scene isn't really of note because it's very quick. It's like they're trying to find, they think there's another lodge there. They go try to find it. There's nothing there. They leave, get attacked by the birds a little, and then they're on their way. They have a little boat, and the T-Rex just keeps following them along the river. And there's, oh my god, I don't know why every time I get a notification on my phone it scares me, but we're gonna turn that over. So they're floating along the river, and then there's those poison-spitting dinosaurs, and they're like, oh god, there's 2 of them, and they're in a mating dance. How are we gonna get by? Well, the good old T-Rex shows up and distracts the dinosaurs enough for their boat to get by, and then their boat is about to, it goes over a waterfall. And what's at the bottom of the waterfall? The fucking T-Rex. How is he stalking them so well? I don't know. You can't see this guy. How is he stalking them so well? God only knows, because I don't think the T-Rex knew. And behind the waterfall that they fell down, they find a little, attached, like, cave into a building. Not cave, like, door to the building. Grant gets locked in there. Tim and Lex are on the other side with the T-Rex. Wraps its tongue around Tim and tries to eat him. It's the face I made. Oh, I hate it. It's so gross. And then Grant finds a male velociraptor baby in the tunnel, so he tranquilizes it with a dart so they can take it back as proof that these dinosaurs are reproducing and turning into men to do so. And then he finds a little golf cart and they reunite with people and they start finding out people are dead. And then the velociraptors have also gotten out and they're attacking the lodge. And there's like these pyramid windows above the beds, and Malcolm is dying in his bed, high on morphine, talking about chaos theory, just watching these things try to chew through the fucking bars of the window, because they've broken the glass already. So, that was gross. I would have had a heart attack. Doesn't matter if I have morphine. I don't know if that prevents them, because you're too high to, like, care and be scared, but I would have had a heart attack. So the Velociraptors start killing people, and they're trying to turn the power back on because Nidri turned it off so he could steal, again, the embryos to create more little baby dinosaurs, because Hammond is so pro-life about these fuckers that he's like, no, we can't kill them at all, even when they're adults. Which, like, even God did that to his son. Come on, dude. You're playing God here. God killed Jesus. That was his whole point. Kill your dinosaurs. You can make more. Just don't do the carnivores. Like, that's all you had to do. Especially the Velociraptors. Like, you can't tell me that if this thing was real, a real dinosaur, but they only made the plant eaters, you can't tell me people still wouldn't care. Because there's a whole thing like, oh, well, you need the T-Rex. He's like the king of the dinosaurs. You don't need the T-Rex. Okay? We don't need... Society does not need the carnivores. Anyways. So... Let's see. I don't really remember. It's kind of... There's a lot of things happening. The kids help turn the power back on. Grant is like, we need to go find all the nests to count how many dinosaurs there are, so we know for when we, kill them all. And Hammond is like, No, you're not killing my dinosaurs. And then Hammond is going back to his special man lodge where he lives on the island. And then he hears a roar and gets scared because they're fucking dinosaurs. If you hear one, you're gonna be scared, sir, Mr. Creator of the dinosaurs. So he falls down a hill and lands in a ditch and like breaks his ankle. And then he finds out it's just the kids playing with little buttons in the control room. I don't know why he can hear them. I was a bit confused. I was too stressed. I was like, there's velociraptors. They're still on that boat. I can't care. And then these little dinosaurs come and eat him. So he dies, which didn't happen in the movie. He was also a lot better in the movie. He was like a joyful old man in white who was like, I made dinosaurs. In this one, he was like, I made dinosaurs and I need to make money off them because capitalism is good and I can't, and I've only, like, I just made them and we're gonna open. There's a lot of safety hazards in this place. Don't care. We're gonna open it because I need to make my money off my dinosaurs. So don't kill them. Get rid of that rocket launcher. Ugh, the velociraptors are so gross. Literally, like, why, out of every dinosaur, a velociraptor? Even if they looked more like birds, like we know that they do now, ugh. Those little claws, that's all. That's what you gotta think about. So the dinosaurs that kill him have, like, this numbing poison, so he's kind of, like, he can't really feel anything as they rip his throat open. Gross. And then the main group goes to look for the nesting site of the velociraptors, specifically. They take that little male velociraptor that Grant found and they follow him to the nesting site. I want to be dead. Ugh. Sorry, it's so gross. It's like if you went in a snake nest, but they're velociraptors, it's worse. And so they're like, there's so many velociraptors. I don't remember, because that's all the other ones that, you know, they found earlier. Instead of 8, there's the 37. That's the rest of them. They're in this little hole in the ground that everyone is now, that Grant, Elle, and Ellie, sorry, I don't know why I keep calling her Elle, and some dude are in. And, the velociraptors have, like, a hierarchy. There's, like, the adults, there's the babies, and then there's the juniors. And they're all looking the same way. They're all standing the same way. There's, like, clear divided lines. And Grant and Ellie are like, oh my god, we're learning so much about dinosaurs. And I'm like, y'all are gonna get killed. They're gonna eat you. But they don't. Instead, they start running out a tunnel, and Grant is like, we have to follow them. Let's go follow them. So they follow them, and they stop, like, at the water line of the ocean to the island, and they're all looking off into the distance, and Grant is like, oh, they just want to migrate. That's why dinosaurs have been leaving the island, because they're animals. They're just doing their animalistic instincts, and they want to migrate. Gross. Disgusting. Fucking hate animals. Sorry, vegans. I'm on the carnivore side. Disgusting. Anyways, then everyone gets rescued by some helicopters, and then they blow up the island. That was something that wasn't in the movie. They blow the island up. And Ian Malcolm is dead. To not talk about chaos theory until the sequel when he comes back to life. So, what are my thoughts on this book? It was very good. I gave it 4 stars because there were some parts where it did drag, like Malcolm talking about chaos theory and Lex wanting a snack. But it was so good. I have already told some of my friends to read it, so I'm not the only disgusted one here, but I'm probably the only one with a fear of dinosaurs, so really. Got my dinosaur shirt. I'm the only one who's gonna have nightmares. But yeah, I would highly suggest this book. I really liked it. I am just a wimp. I don't read a lot of horror. And of course I pick a book that's with my very irrational fear of being killed by a dinosaur, which I was telling my mom about. And she was like, well, I mean, if you're underneath a dinosaur skeleton and it falls on you, it could kill you. So thanks, Jen. Because now I have that to worry about. But yeah, if you're ever curious about reading Jurassic Park, I would highly suggest it. It really fleshes out the world. There are obviously differences from the movie, like I've talked about, and there is with every book to movie adaptation. That's just the way it works. I don't know why we keep acting shocked every time there's something different. Did I like the book more than the movie? Questionable, because in the book, if I close my eyes at the scary parts, I can't read on, and I have to read them eventually. In the movie, I can just close my eyes. But I do think the book was scarier. Definitely scarier than when I was... Like, the movie wasn't as scary as when I was a kid and watching it. Some parts it was like, oh, like, that's how long that scene is. Like, the scene in the kitchen with the kids and the velociraptors, I thought that was a lot longer. It wasn't. And in the book, like, you know, you can't look away, so it was scarier in the book. Everything was. The velociraptor is fucking terrifying. One of them gets, like, hit with a boom boom, whatever it was called, and its leg, like, flies off, and it's still trying to kill people. Oh, and the ship. I forgot to talk about the ship. The ship, they call them at the last minute, and surprisingly, no one died on the ship. They didn't attack. There was like 3 velociraptors and they just chilled. So that was interesting. I thought they were all going to be dead. I'm kind of disappointed that they weren't, because I feel like that would have added something to it. Because like the government's trying to cover it up by blowing up the island. And I think it's a thing where it's like, oh, we don't talk about what happened here. And I think that could have been more dramatic if the people on the ship had died, so that probably is also why I gave it 4 stars. I finished this a couple days ago. Haven't really thought about it since, because I don't want to think about it, as you have seen from this video. But yeah, solid read. Second book I read this year, so we're off to a good start. Yeah. What are your favorite dinosaurs? Mine are the Parasaurolophus and the Ankylosaurus, which I did look back and it was a Stegosaurus in the book, not an Ankylosaurus. I don't know if they had those. Anyways, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure did. My heart's a little fast. If we took my blood pressure right now, it would be up there. But yeah. Have you read Jurassic Park? What's your favorite movie? I'm hoping to watch them all again soon out of curiosity, but I know that the velociraptors play a bigger part in the next couple, so do I want to do that to myself? Da da da, da da da.